Have you ever realized just how much energy you're spending trying to control things? Things that were never yours to carry. If life feels out of control right now, this is for you. I was recently talking to my daughter about some frustrations that I was experiencing and dealing with a number of people who just weren't doing their job and they weren't keeping their promises. People that I had faith in, but honestly, they had failed me. And as the list continued to grow, so did my anxiety. In fact, I was so focused on my frustrations that I actually sat down and made a list of all the situations and people I couldn't control, people I wanted to control. But it didn't stop there. Next, I decided to write down things that I could control. And this list was even more revealing. It included things like my thoughts, my actions, my reactions to situations, and how much time I spend focusing on God. In Matthew chapter 14, Peter actually has the same problem. The disciples were out on the lake and they saw Jesus walking on the lake and they were terrified, believing at first that it was actually a ghost. But then Jesus told them to take courage and don't be afraid. I don't know what I would be thinking, but Peter was actually the one who spoke up and said, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." Now, this was a really brave statement, especially when Jesus told Peter to come. So Peter got out of the boat. He walked on the water toward Jesus, but then he started looking around and he saw that there were so many things he couldn't control, like the wind and the waves, and he began to sink. Just like me, when I start focusing on what I can't do and people who have disappointed me, situations that have me frustrated, all of my fears and all the things that I can't control. As Jesus watched Peter start to panic, he held out his hand and he caught Peter before he slipped beneath the waves. And then he said, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" I have to ask myself that very same question. Why do I doubt? I have seen miracles in my own life over and over, the moments when I am sinking too. And yet Jesus reaches out his hand and he catches me and does what only he can do. Why can't I have a faith that never fails? Here's what I want to remember from my own faith today, because as hard as I try not to, I will doubt again. And yet, like with Peter, Jesus is compassionate. When life feels overwhelming and our grip starts to slip, Jesus doesn't stand at a distance. He reaches out every time, even when our faith wavers, especially then. So when you feel yourself sinking, don't panic, refocus, stay the course, keep your eyes on him. His hand is already there, holding you steady. Until the next time.